It's 2025's good luck, have fun, don't die. A total brain melting trip?
Or massive tech support headache. Find out next on the cutting room floor.
Dun, 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 messing up the timeline. Dun.
What's up, Misfits and Metalheads, and welcome to another episode of the cutting room floor. We are from the band Cut Like This. I am Thorn Black.
I'm Rose Blood.
And today we are talking about Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Currently streaming on Disney/Hulu. Rose, why don't we dive into this one, and why don't you tell them a little bit about it? But first, don't forget there's music all over the place. Hook a band up and sign up for our mailing list. Big news coming out for the rest of the year. Rose, let's dive into it.
All right, so let me paint you a picture, if I may. Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die is by Gore Verbinski. It is a tale about a man from the future who is holding a diner hostage, trying to find the perfect combination of people to basically join the resistance and save humanity from an impending AI apocalypse. That's pretty much the premise of this film, and it is wild. The titular, the man from the future, is played by Sam Rockwell, who, one of my very favorite movies, the movie that really made him, I had already seen him in a bunch of movies, because he's actually been in more movies than you realize, because he's just such a damn good actor that you don't realize that it's him. But the movie that really stood out to me, that made him like really shine in my eyes, is the movie Moon, which is, he plays in it almost entirely by himself. It's also a science fiction movie. He's working on an isolated moon as part of a mining operation and stuff. And he's in complete solitude until one day something happens and it totally changes everything about who he is, where he is, and what he's doing. Really amazing movie. I highly recommend it. But yeah, that movie to me like cemented him as like one of my favorite character actors. Like I was really blown away by his performance, and it was just full of so much emotion and so much strife, and he's just great. He carried that movie like entirely on his back. It must be made out of titanium, because that's it. It was him. So anyway,
that was a good movie. That was the first time I remember seeing him.
That was the first time, and then it's like
standout.
As soon as I saw him, I couldn't stop seeing him in things, and I realized that he's just that much about immersing himself into characters that you don't even, he just can easily become an entirely different type of person, which is awesome. So in this movie, he is kind of desperate. He kind of looks like a hobo, so nobody believes him.
Oh, he definitely does.
He looks like a space hobo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he looks like a crackhead from outer space.
I wouldn't have believed him.
It's a serious situation.
I'd have been like, you forgot the tinfoil hat. That's literally the only thing he's missing. He looks crazy,
he looks totally unhinged. He's a hot mess. It's wild. Like your introduction to him. I mean, we see many a person that looks like him on the New York City subways every day. You know what I mean? Like it's that level of disheveled. He's a hot mess, and everybody's just kind of enjoying their dinner, and they meet this character, and at first they don't even, he's giving this kind of grandiose speech and everything, and at first they're not even really paying attention to him and stuff like that. Well, I mean, they're just kind of avoiding him, but eventually he recruits some people willingly and unwillingly, and some of these characters are really interesting. This movie, what it reminded me of is, remember that movie Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, which should have been called Live, Die, Repeat. It was in the posters.
It was called that for a while.
It was in the posters,
actually.
And then they changed it to Edge of Tomorrow, which is stupid. It should have just been Live, Die. That's a perfect title. That perfectly encapsulates that movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It captures exactly what that movie is.
Exactly.
I don't understand why they changed it, especially when they went through the trouble of actually having it printed up and all plastered on everything. I'm like, that's a better name, but whatever.
What's really interesting is that the writer for this movie, Matthew Robinson, he is actually slated to be the writer for the sequel to Edge of Tomorrow. I was like, what? Like, because I immediately thought of that film when I was watching this. Apparently, Gore Verbinski, who is known for, his surreal, high concept films and practical sets and all kinds of cool stuff like that, he actually has directed the first three. Pirates of the Caribbean movies, your favorite. And he also directed The Ring, the American version. And he also directed Rango. Remember Rango, that Western with the gecko,
one, right?
the animated one
I
with
remember
the,
that.
I think it was Johnny Depp was
Johnny,
the red.
I think so, yeah.
So he actually directed that as well. So he is known for kind of like these really like crazy concepts and stuff, and this one is a doozy, y'all, as any movie that involves time travel is apt to be. Like most time travel movies are, it's a timey-wimey mess, you know what I mean, to quote Doctor Who. So it's always going to be a little weird. The cast is the man from Future, like I said, is Sam Rockwell. Some of the other characters are Mark and Janet. They are teachers. They work together. Mark is played by Michael Pena. He's been in, he's a comedic actor, but he's also really good in serious movies too. Like, I remember, he was really good in, he was really funny in Ant-Man, but he's also really amazing in that movie End of Watch. Remember that movie where it's like dealing with gangs and stuff in LA and stuff, like he's like a cop.
Vaguely a little bit.
So they're at like the end of their shift and ends up with this big shoot. It's like a very serious film. It's like it was a big departure
I think I know what you're
from
talking
his
about.
usual stuff.
Yeah.
And he's no stranger to sci-fi stuff either, because he was in that movie Extinction, where he keeps seeing like visions of the future of the aliens coming down.
I
It was, like, a
remember that
big,
because I saw him
sweeping
and
sci-fi film.
I usually don't see him as the main actor of
Yeah.
a movie, and this time he was in that.
Exactly.
And I really enjoyed that. I think he did a good job. That was a really cool movie, Extinction.
Yeah, exactly.
That was really
I
cool.
enjoyed that one too.
Yeah.
It was a very big scale like sci-fi flick.
Yeah.
Like alien, like Janet is played by none other than Zazie Beetz, who we just saw in our last episode, They Will Kill You, and we loved her. So it's really cool to see her again. I was like, oh, there's Zazie Beetz again. They are, they're both teachers, and she's like the more seasoned teacher, and he's the newer teacher, and he's like a substitute English teacher. And they are both dealing with utter exhaustion from trying to deal with this generation of, teens that are just so into their phones that literally at one point he's just walking around the classroom and like they're so into their phones that like nobody looks up at any point. Like he just decides to not even bother to teach and see if anybody responds and reacts, and none of them do. Like it's just gotten that bad.
I mean, honestly.
Yes, is it far from the truth?
It's not because, but also he's a substitute teacher. And
this is true.
Substitute teachers get no respect. They never have. They never will. And not for nothing, if I would have had a phone back then, I would have totally ignored every sub I've ever had. That, you know what I mean? Like that
That's
was very.
why you shouldn't have a phone in a classroom.
You shouldn't. And also, you're a substitute teacher. Like, good luck getting their respect, especially in the day of modern technology. You know?
Absolutely. I do get it. It does take it to pretty crazy levels, I will say. Let's see. The other main characters are Susan. She's a mom grieving the loss of her son, Darren, and Ingrid. She is a party princess, and she is like literally, she's a princess for her kids' birthday parties. And the reason why she has this unusual job is that in this world of technology gone awry, she is actually allergic to technology, to Wi-Fi specifically, and cell phones and stuff like that. She has this electromagnetic allergy. So this has isolated her from the rest of the world. And the reason why she works with kids is that they are, less likely to have like cell phones and stuff like that. And it's very interesting. Like she's an interesting character.
She's an interesting character, but also about that whole I'm allergic to electronics. I'm not sure how much I swallowed that pill or not. And I know you gotta like suspend belief. You're watching a movie, it's sci-fi, it's all this and that. I'm not saying nothing because I'm here for the fantastical. You know what I mean? But
I had a friend who was allergic to
it,
extreme temperature changes. She was allergic to heat and to cold. If her body got too hot, she would break out in hives. If her body got too cold, it would break out in hives.
You're allergic to
People can be
Wi-Fi.
people can be allergic to some weird stuff.
All I'm saying is it's a bit of a hard pill to swallow, even amongst the sci-fi.
I mean, this whole movie is very weird.
I know, it is, and yet still, this is one of the standout things for me that I'm like, Nani? I'm like, with everything going on, that's the one thing that's blurring in my mind. Like, I don't know about that one thing. You're time traveling all over the place, and I'm still like, I don't know about that one, though. Just saying. That's just me. Just me. Just saying.
I hear you. I hear you. There's a lot of really fun moments in this. And you'll have to watch the film to find those out. Because here, we grade via chainsaw, with 5 chainsaws being a cinematic masterpiece of sci-fi cinema. 1 chainsaw. Well, that's not going to help you overthrow the AI technocracy, okay? You're not getting anywhere with that, all right? You can't even cut through a USB with it, all right? You can't even. So, that being said, Thor in Black, how many chainsaws would you give? So good luck, have fun, don't die.
All right. So for this one, this is a little odd one for me. I did enjoy the movie. However, I was a bit tired when I was watching this one and it was a bit longer. So I definitely dozed off a couple of times and I missed a couple of things here and there throughout the movie. So I didn't, and I got the overall summary and a wrap up from Rose afterwards and stuff. And I'm not going to blame the movie for putting me to sleep. I was definitely tired coming in watching to it. However, I'm going to give this movie a 4 out of 5 chainsaws. Based on what I did see. There's a couple of things here and there that I'm like, I don't know, but part of that is, I dozed in and out a couple of times. So I can't give like an honest, like, oh, it's not that good. Oh, it's the best because, you know what I mean? I was somewhat middle of the road. Granted, I thought it was well acted. I thought it was really interesting. I like the whole like timey-wimey kind of stuff, traveling all over the place, the different iterations, kind of like Groundhog Day, like, well, no, we gotta try it like this, we gotta try it like that. I like all of that stuff. I like Sam Rockwell. I think he did a great job. So that's what I'm gonna give it. And I have to say, the one thing that did bother me just slightly, again, is that allergy to technology. Oh, Wi-Fi nosebleed. Huh? What? Oh, so the text message, nosebleed. All right. I'm like, I know we're traveling through time, but geez, I don't know. That one's hard for me to swallow. I'm just saying. Rose, what are you going to give this one?
I am also going to give, first off, I appreciate your honesty, Thorn Black. We are just 2 real people that are giving our real and honest reviews here. This is not anything that is scripted or written ahead. I take notes, of course, but this is just, we give it to you real and raw. And sometimes real and raw means being honest about disclosing how much of the film you were able to partake of. I think that, I don't think that on a regular night that you would have gotten sleepy. I think that this is exactly in your wheelhouse of films, and that you would have definitely stayed engaged. I think it just had to do with tiredness because it was really late when we were watching it. I really love this movie. I thought it was really cool. I thought I think that the topics that it's tackling are here. You know what I mean? Like, we are at this precipice in human society where we're having to deal with the repercussions of AI. And this is taking it, of course, to like a comedic and crazy Kafka-esque kind of level. You know what I mean? This gave me shades of Brazil. It gave me, like I said, it made me think very much of the film Edge of Tomorrow. It has a lot of relevance to what's going on. There's a lot of allegories. These characters are symbols for things. They're not just their characters. And I think that if you're the kind of person that really likes to like sink in and like think about the, the wheres and the whats and the whys behind things, you're really going to enjoy this. And also it's fun. I really loved all the flashbacks to like, you see him like, as he's like, as they're navigating, trying to get out of this diner into the next destination. It's got kind of like a video game kind of vibe to it, and then you see like the past iterations and all the mistakes and all the times that they got blown up and all the times that they got killed, and it's really fun. Like I think that it's stylish, it's fun, it's actually relevant to like what's actually going on in the world right now, but it's wrapped in a interesting, kind of mystery of like, and a kind of cat and mouse of like, who's going to win? Is it going to be humanity or is it going to be AI? And what is going to be the repercussions of, the choices that these characters make? So I really, really enjoyed that. I enjoyed all the actors. I think they all did a great job as each, kind of stereotype that they were. I like Gore Verbinski's movies. I like the way that he directs things. It's very hip. It's very fun. He likes to combine a lot of surreal aspects, which is, I love that kind of surreal kookiness and weirdness. Like, that's where I live. I live in the kooky weird spaces. That's me to a T. So I very much enjoyed this one. And now you have your homework for the weekend.
You're welcome. Once again, we are from the band Cut Like This. We're currently catching up on the rest of our sleep. I'll speak for myself on that one. Or maybe I caught up during the movie. I'm not sure. Like, that's all from this week. We are out.